Still, the minimum expectation in Evanston has become at least making it to a bowl game. They've been to 5 straight. They had been to just 6 all-time before this streak began. Fitzgerald continues to rewrite the school's record book. The bowl win was the 50th of his career at NU. It made him the winningest coach in school history. Pat Fitzgerald, the head coach of the Wildcats, joins us. He has been kind enough, as he is every year, to bring us some genuine Wisconsin bratwurst. That's actually supposed to be Howard's. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
I don't think he knows.
We're already a couple bites in. Coach, thanks as always for your hospitality, first of all. This is a trend. You do this every year, and one of our trends that we've had is every year we've come here and we've said, Coach, how important would it be to this program for you to win a bowl game this year? And we don't have to ask that question this year. You won your bowl game last year. What did it mean for the program?
A huge momentum, Rever. I mean, as you watch the way our guys came back, got to work in the weight room, and the attitude that our guys approached the offseason with, I thought was really impressive. They carried it over into spring practice. We had some guys banged up that were out and gave some other young men an opportunity, and you're seeing them take advantage of that now. We had a great summer, and I think our team's in good shape. Now we've got to get them prepared for the opener.
Coach, you're going into your 8th year. You've won a bunch of games. Your recruiting has gotten better every year. You're poised for a championship. Give us some sense of how different the depth is now than maybe 3, 4, even 5 years ago.
Well, I'd probably ask you guys as independent guys, coming to our practice, it's very different. You watch, first of all, I think the size of our both of our lines is much improved. The speed in our secondary and our skill positions is probably the fastest skill group that we've ever had. And then to have multiple quarterbacks that we believe can run our offense and move the football for us, along with 3 specialists that have been a part of our program now for 4 years, it gives you great confidence that we've got experience. Now, this last couple of weeks, how will we put everything together to finalize our plans and then our prep for a tough trip out to Cal?
What are some of the keys that you want to get out of this next couple of weeks?
Well, first of all, we got to stay healthy, and I think that's probably universal with everybody in training camp. We've got to do a great job as a coaching staff managing our older players, managing our experienced guys while still pushing the tempo to get us in great game shape and really callous our bodies. And then beyond that, we've got to clean up our execution. Fundamentally, we've got to get better playing with our feet apart, playing with strong hands on offense and finishing blocks, catching the ball better than we did today. I thought our targets were great with our quarterbacks, but we dropped the ball too much. And then defensively, just continuing to violently get off blocks. I mean, it's an offensive game now. The ball being spotted, tempo, things of that nature. You've got to really be solid fundamentally on defense to be successful.
How are you addressing the emphasis on the contact rules, the possible ejection? There's no doubt there'll be more ejections this year than there ever has been in any other single year. How are you addressing it with your team?
Well, Coach, we're really looking hard at each rep. But at the same time, our guys, I think, have done a really good job in the past. As I visited with Bill Carollo, I've looked at the teach tape that they've given us, and we'll show our guys. I think it's obvious what the plays are going to be that are going to be ejectable offenses. The being in a crouch position, launching towards the head, hitting a defenseless player, things of that nature. My biggest concern, I mentioned this to you guys before practice, was the special teams blindside hit. What really defines that? When people set up their wall and their punt return team, things of that nature, how is that going to be called? And really, it goes back to the rule hasn't changed. But if you launch on a guy, you're going to now be ejected. So, I wish this was the way it was when I was playing. I don't know about you guys, but, would have saved me on some special teams reps.
Coach, talk a little bit about how loose your team has been. I mean, today we see your team. This is going on 7th time, and they're very loose, very confident group. Where's that coming from?
Well, I think it's from experience. I think it's from great leadership. We want to work hard, but we want to have fun while we're doing it, and that's what this game is all about. But it really goes probably back to recruiting, man. I mean, we look for guys that are leaders in high school, that are great attitude guys that come every day, ready to work, ready to improve, and embrace being a terrific teammate. I think the biggest thing that's jumped out to me with this camp is watching the Tyler Scotts go against Dan Vitale in a one-on-one cutoff drill. And Danny beats Tyler, and Tyler comes back and says, hey, the reason why you won is because you had great hands, or vice versa when Tyler beats him, hey, I beat you because you didn't run your feet, whatever it might be. Now we're really starting to see that really authentic leadership where guys are willing to give of themselves for the greater good of the team.
Coach, there are external expectations on Northwestern this year. You're ranked in the top 25, and I know you've minimized that somewhat, but the guys obviously know about it. Mm-hmm. It's something that you haven't had to deal with as a head coach, your first preseason ranking. How do you deal with it? What do you say to them?
Well, we've had to deal with it the other way. So let's just turn the other page. I mean, we've had to deal with it from a negative aspect for a number of years, and you have to shut that noise off and use what is appropriate as motivation. Now you flip it over, and they should embrace being ranked. They should embrace it and want to be. You want to be talked about that way in the preseason. It typically means what you did last year and what you have coming back. But this is a new team. We started back over from square one as we started in January. Now we're in kind of the last half of the fourth quarter of prep and here in training camp, and now we've got to finish what we're doing. We've got a bunch of big practices coming up, and I like where our attitude's at. I like the way the guys are working, but a lot of work left to do.
Head coach of the Wildcats, Pat Fitzgerald. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks, Trevor. Appreciate it. Go Cats.